Hi there. Good afternoon. Salam alaikum. Today is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. Currently about 83 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 28 degrees Celsius. Welcome to Riyadh, the capital and largest city of Saudi Arabia. So this is the Kingdom Center. And the Kingdom Tower there, completed in 2002. So yesterday I showed the old fortress from the 19th century and various neighborhoods around there, but it was definitely a more rundown part of town, and so I wanted to show something more high-tech, representing the more modern, developed part of Riyadh and Saudi Arabia. So the first problem could be the filming. I'm not sure if this is going to be an issue or not. I will get inside there and then, pass the security guards and see if it's okay to film in there. Also, online, it looked like it might close at 12:30, and it is about 11:45 right now. So, not going to have a lot of time here. I wanted to get lunch, but it would be a little strange if it closes at 12:30 and they kick everyone out. I don't know how this works. So, we shall see. Anyways, one day in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Here we go. Okay, well, it looks pretty nice. Versace, Ferragamo. It just seems kind of unlikely that they would fully shut down the mall in 45 minutes. Maybe that was hours of the tower, going to the top of the tower or something. I guess we might see what happens. Alright, so where are the restaurants? It's kind of cold in here. The AC is a little too much. Here we are at the gallery. Maybe the restaurants are up on the third floor at the top there. How do you get up there? I am definitely not doing any shopping here other than some lunch. Okay. Looks like some stairs over there. But this is not going to be a video filmed entirely inside a mall. I'm going to go somewhere totally different after this that will be much more historical and I think a lot more interesting. So I'm not seeing any sign of restaurants yet. Did I get something wrong and there's no restaurants in this mall? On mine it did mention there's gotta be. Maybe this is it up ahead. Okay, I see coffee, so that's a good sign. Not looking for a coffee, but alright. This is definitely a restaurant. Social dining, Al Mamlaka. Is this one restaurant or a food court? This is the Kingdom of Food. Okay, my prayers have been answered. A world where food serves as the universal language, seamlessly connecting individuals from every corner of the globe. Opening hours, 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. Okay, so they're open all day and until 3 in the morning. Wow. Obviously I got something wrong about them closing it down at 12:30. And we have a bar which I assume has no alcohol. Cash. Okay. And I ordered some food here. So, got a falafel sandwich, French fries, and a mango truffle. It all came to 85 Saudi Arabian Riyal, That is about $22, so a little expensive here, but not too bad for being in a fancy mall. The Uber ride was about 20 minutes and it was $10. And then here we have some of the Saudi Arabian money. And on the other side it says, oh, it doesn't. I thought it said Saudi Arabia somewhere. Saudi Central Bank, I guess that's it. English, Arabic. And there we go. This looks really good and very substantial. Falafel sandwich. Shukran, thank you. So there you can see crafting mock. Obviously mocktails, not cocktails. So falafel sandwich, fries, mayonnaise, ketchup, and a tasty looking mango dessert. Gonna dig in here and then get out of this mall. Sushi, ceviche, Hawaiian-inspired street food, interesting. Sirloin or strip loin wagyu, tenderloin black Angus. So it is now 12:30 and seems we aren't getting kicked out, so that's good. Very nice food court here. All right, let's get out of here. Quite a unique design. But man, it is good to be back out of the mall and the AC. It was just too cold in there. It is really the perfect temperature outside now. The food was all really good. The falafel sandwich, super tasty, nice sauces. Good to have something a little bit different. The fries were really tasty, and that mango dessert was amazing. So I am now going to head this way, a little ways, because I want to get a thumbnail image with the building in the background, but I need to get away from it. Although, come to think of it, where the sun is positioned, I think I want to be on the other side. Let's see. Sun is there. Yeah. Okay, so let's go for a little bit of a walk. Maybe this direction, considering that this is the general direction towards where I'm going next. It is outside of Riyadh, but just a little bit. It's only a 15-minute drive away. Okay, now that I'm directly in the sun, it's quickly getting hot. So I think that I want to be over there on that side of the road to order my next Uber, but this is not looking good as far as getting across the street. Maybe if I try just snapping my fingers, maybe I can just teleport right over there. Let's give it a try. Boom. All right, so let's go for the thumbnail shot here. Looking good, sun right on me, building in the background. And then call an Uber and head that direction. Okay, so the last 45 minutes or so has been totally crazy. The good news is that it is going to give me a story to tell as I walk around here and show this really, really amazing place. All in the traditional old style, but these are new buildings here. We will be seeing very old ones at Preve. So I believe that that is what I am looking for. This is called Brookii, and the nearby town is Djinn. So there was a total fiasco with the Uber that I took to get here. So that is just part of the story. Okay, first, I guess that I want to be up there trying to figure out how we get there. Man, it is just absolutely incredible. This whole property, which is built around the old town there. But how do you get through? I guess maybe I continue this way. So I had looked online for some of the best places to see in Riyadh and came across this place, Djinn. So there you can see, okay, not Djinn, Diriyah. There it says Diriyah Welcome Center. So I'd seen mention of Diriyah and this old town where there are old palaces and forts and various buildings going back about 350 years. So after the mall there and getting my thumbnail photo, okay, now it is saying at Preve back that way. Ay, 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 ay. So I look on the phone for the town that is near here, and then I enter in Palace. Oh great, and now this is ending, so I need to go back here and find something. And so I enter that in, the Diriyah Palace, and order an Uber. The Uber comes, sitting there, it's about a 20-minute drive away, and watching the scenery and checking my phone and stuff. And then we're about 5 minutes away, and for some reason, then I decide to double check something, because one of the palaces was called Salwa. And so I was thinking that maybe the Diriyah Palace was another name for the Salwa Palace. And so I searched for Salwa Palace to confirm that it is the same location, but no, it points me at a completely different place, about 25 minutes away from where we now are. And so I'm like, oh man, what's going on here? What did I screw up? And so I do a couple of quick searches more and realize that this palace with the same name is not in the town, it is far away. I don't know what that palace was, if it was worth visiting or what, but that wasn't where the old town was going to be that I wanted to go to. So I tell the driver, who speaks like just a little bit of English, and get the point across. And so he finds this town, Diriyah, and so he does a, face palm like, oh man, you got it so wrong. And so he pulls over, and we are then trying to figure out how to add a new stop so that he can just keep on going, taking me there. And so I add the new stop, or rather try to change the destination, And then it says, can't change with the credit card that I'm using. And so it's now having some issue with the credit card, which I've used all of my other Uber rides, including the one that I'm on, so I don't know how it could have a problem with that card, but I try several times and it is just not going to work. So then I try to change it over to cash, but it says can't change payment method mid-ride. And so we're sitting there on the side of the highway, a big divided freeway with like 5 lanes on each side. And so finally we just decide to cancel that, in which case I'll still end up paying for it, which is fine because he took me almost all the way there. And so we cancel the ride, but then the issue is, how do we get him to accept my new ride to take me over here? And so he says, just like, do it again, order another ride. We do that, but then it pulls up a different driver. He never gets the chance to accept it. And it is showing the location for pickup as being on the opposite side of this, you know, like 10-lane freeway. Wow, look at that. Okay, this is what I wanted to see. I believe that I am fully inside the area and shouldn't have to pay a ticket entrance, and that is part of the story as well, is the ticket situation. So how to get over to the other side of the freeway is looking like practically impossible, or some just, you know, it's not going to happen in like the 3 minutes that it's going to take for that next car to get over here. And so he says cancel that, and then he says that I can just pay him cash, so that's great. I have cash. So I cancel that other one within like a minute, and I think that I was never charged for that, but anyways, doesn't matter. And so we start heading in this direction, another 25-minute or so drive. Yes, we are in it here. So this was the original palace of the Saudi royal family, the beginnings of Saudi Arabia as a nation. You can see the classic mud, straw, and stones. All right, looking forward to this. So we get almost here, and then he asked me where in Riyadh are you trying to go? And so then I enter in the Sawa fortress, and we start heading in that direction. Salam. But then we end up in this general area, which is super confusing. There are security guards all over the place. We get to a checkpoint at one point at Preve Gardens. Okay, what's this? The treasury. The first Saudi state conducted its fiscal affairs according to Islamic principles, including the composition of state revenues and how they should be raised and dispersed. The treasury was a place where the money and assets such as grain and livestock could be kept secure. These were distributed according to government priorities determined by the Imam. The Adiria treasury had a chief executive with strong powers, assisted by a manager to supervise its affairs and its various branches. He maintained all the income, expenses, and items and dispersed funds based on the Imam's orders. The treasury is in southeastern At-Turayf, next to Sawa Palace. So there you go. That is what I was just mentioning as what I had entered in to go to, but it is a restricted area. The treasury before restoration, the treasury after restoration. So that is what we are inside. Trade, ooh, look at this. Okay, we are, I believe, there. So you have the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf, or as they call it, the Arabian Gulf in this part of the world. Persia, Iran, there. Google Maps identifies it as the Arabian Gulf when you are in these countries. And then there is the Sinai Peninsula. I believe that that would be Eilat, Israel, and Aqaba, Jordan. I crossed the border there from Aqaba to Eilat, Israel. So Israel coming down kind of like that. I think I got that right. Let's double check on the phone. And yes, hard to see there, but Aqaba there, Eilat there. So, I'm in the Uber, which is no longer an Uber because I'm not on an Uber ride, but he's taken me here, and we are somewhere nearby going through this just maze of roads and lots of like pedestrian areas, and then it's blocked off. And so he comes to a security guard and then rolls down the window. They talk, and the guy looks in at me, and my driver's explaining to him, I want to go to the tourist thing. And so he lets us through, and then we continue that way, and then keep on going, and then we're kind of both confused as far as, well, now what? Where is he supposed to actually drop me off? Endowment Moody played an important role providing accommodation for students from outside of Adiria and helping them in their Sharia studies, including providing access to teachers. Huh. This place is so extensive. Seems like it is still in development. Architectural origins. Located adjacent to Sawa Palace in the southeast of At-Tarif, on its north, the Moody Endowment Building was linked to a mosque. Okay, let's keep on exploring. There's much more to see, it seems. Ooh, nice. So we're driving somewhere very close to here, and I think he stops and asks somebody else, and they point him on down the road. And so we continue that way, and then realize that the road has turned into a tunnel without this being covered. Basically, it's like this. It's like the road with nowhere to get out, and none of the like buildings that we were seeing anymore. So basically, we're leaving that area. And I try to tell him, just drop me here and I'll walk back. But there's nowhere good for him to pull over there. So he keeps on going, and then we get to a junction, and there's a policeman there. So he's able to pull over there and then get out and talk with the policeman. And also, on the wall there was a promotional photo of the old town. And so I get out and I point at the photo to make it clear what I want to see. And he understands. And so he's explaining to my driver that you need to go back around. And so we do that and finally get to the place where I can actually come inside here. And so he had told me that he would take me here for 50 Saudi Arabian Riyal. That is like $11-12, so totally reasonable. Slightly less than the Uber app was saying, but with all the confusion, I paid him 75. So that's like 20 bucks. So between that confusion and the initial heading in the completely wrong direction, it still only cost me an extra, 25 bucks or something. So he drops me off, I say goodbye, and go up to the entrance area, and there are a couple of workers there. They speak really good English, and they ask me if I have a ticket. I say no, and they say, well, you can use this QR code and then you can get in for free. You just have to do something with the phone. And so I'm pulling out my phone, and right then he asks me, do you have a camera? And I say yes. And he says, oh no, you can't film in there. Can I see the camera? And so I pull out my camera, and at this point I have no idea why the next thing happened, but I show him my camera, and he says, oh, okay, great, no problem, you can go in. And I don't have to do the QR code thing or anything. The camera is apparently okay now, because it's not a big camera, I guess, or something like that. But I don't understand why I then didn't have to do the QR thing to get the free ticket or whatever. He just says, go ahead, just because I showed him my camera. So there you go. That's what happened. Imam Abdullah bin Saud Palace. The palace of Imam Abdullah bin Saud was characterized by its distinctive architecture as the last palace built during the reign of the first Saudi state. But I love this style, and I'm sure that it is very good for both the heat and the cold. Very insulated, keeps the heat out, and in the winters I'm sure that it can get chilly here, and it must both keep the cold out and also probably stores the heat from the day in the walls and radiates it, through the night. Horse stables.
No, the first flight.
Arabian Horse Museum. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Okay, I just heard a horse. I think that is an electronic horse. Hello. Okay, rooms here. Are these the horse stables or something else? Anyway. Prince Tunayan bin Saud. Wow. Look at these old swords. Fascinating. What a window into the past. overlooking the Hubekar branch of Wadi Hanifa on the western edge of Tareif. Imam Abdulaziz bin Mohammed bin Saud built this as one of the main palaces in Tareif. Formed of layers of stone bound with clay mortar. Battle of Al-Dahra. In the final ferocious assault led by Ibrahim Pasha, the Ottomans tightened their grip on Al-Dahra adjacent to Al-Bujari, but were faced by astounding bravery from the Saudi troops. Al-Bujari's residents also took up arms in defense of Adiriyah, Al-Bujari, and Tareif. Ibn Bishr describes their actions thus: they rose against the Pasha's forces from all directions like wild lions. The sky darkened as the swords soared through heads as loud as horses' neighs. They chased the Pasha's forces out of the district and killed several hundreds of them. So, I didn't know about that. The battles between the Ottomans and the Arabs, Battle of Samha. In retaliation for the bravery of the Saudi defense, Ibrahim Pasha torched the towers and palm groves of Samha, prompting the alternative name, the Battle of Fire. The Saudi troops displayed exceptional courage, defending the farmland, wadi, and difficult terrain of the area. Ibn Bishr relates both heaven and earth were set ablaze. Another one, Battle of Gubera, Arda. And out there you can see more of the palace and fortresses that hasn't been restored yet. The wall just keeps on going a long ways that way. Really glad that we finally figured it out and that I was able to come inside here and film it, because this has really redeemed Saudi Arabia for me. Definitely the most interesting thing that I've seen in both of my visits. The last time, a couple of years ago, I went to Jeddah for a few days, rented a car, and drove past Mecca. As a non-Muslim, I can't go into Mecca, but drove past it and went to something else, another town nearby that was, kind of interesting, but not amazing or anything. But this is really, really quite amazing, because these cities are really not my favorite in this part of the world. Continues down there. Bahrain, Kuwait, Jeddah. Oh, okay, not sure what happened there, but as I was saying, I'm not a big fan of these types of cities in this part of the world. They're very dramatic looking with their skylines of all these skyscrapers. But then when you actually get into it, onto the streets, then it is just these massive wide streets. Almost everybody is in their cars. It isn't very beautiful. It's not, like welcoming, homey at all. Walking around, you just feel like you're lost in this, urban sort of no man's land of building after building after building, but not much in the way of quaint sort of interesting neighborhoods or whatever. And so on that note, I will tell you where I'm going next tomorrow morning. Qatar. Assassination of the Imam. While Imam Abdulaziz led afternoon prayers towards the end of 1803, he was fatally wounded by a stranger from outside the Arabian Peninsula. The assailant, posing as a visiting dervish seeking religious knowledge, had been received with great kindness and hospitality by the Imam and even assigned a mentor. But during prayers he leaped to his feet as the congregation kneeled and plunged his dagger into the Imam. Immediately, Prince Abdullah bin Muhammad bin Saud sprang upon the assassin, wounding him. The Imam was carried to his palace, where he expired, and the murderer was put to death. Mosque architecture. And so I'm going to Qatar tomorrow, basically just to check it off the list, pretty much, because I have no expectations it's going to be any different or more interesting than what I just mentioned. Yes. Want to what? Yes, yes. This way? Shukran, thank you. Thanks a lot. Your name? Ali? Muhammad. Gabriel. Jibril. Shukran. They know the name Gabriel in the Muslim religion because it was the angel Gabriel that told Muhammad something. I forget what. But I think that the name is in the Quran because the angel gave Muhammad like a vision or something like that. And it looks like this area here hasn't been restored. Very interesting to see it in its unaltered state. So, as I said, I've already been to Kuwait, Bahrain, and then the third of the little tiny Gulf states is Qatar. It is also on the way to where I'm going next. You'll find out soon, but many of you can easily guess heading that direction. So I just decided to make these a couple of quick stops just to see a little something along the way. And so I have just 2 nights in Qatar. So I'm not sure what we have here. Hopefully this sign will tell us. Water resources. Oh, okay. It's a well. Like other societies in the middle of the Arabian Peninsula, the growth of communities was depending on the availability of adequate groundwater and wells. In Adiria, wells in the Wadi Hanifa area contributed to the growth of the Adiria and the flourishing of agricultural life there. Sawa Palace Conservation. What are we doing? We have scaffolded the Majlis building, Sawa Palace Majlis, I guess that is part of the palace, which sits at the heart of the wider Sawa Palace complex, whose construction began during the reign of Imam Abdulaziz bin Muhammad bin Saud in 1765 AD. 1179 AH, so that obviously refers to since the life of Muhammad, the Muslim calendar. This is to undertake investigations and maintenance in the top sections of the mud walls following the unusually heavy rains of December and January 2023. Okay, so it was damaged by rain, which is of course a very rare phenomenon here on the Arabian Peninsula. Okay, more to see up here. Looks like we'll get some views of the I guess like surrounding buildings, maybe residential homes outside the palace walls, it looks like. And here we have vegetable gardens, tomatoes there. Looks like maybe bell peppers. The Valley Farm, flourishing of agriculture. And another well. There you go, the water bag, I guess. Whoa. Okay, well, I think this is probably the end of the tour of the palace and old town here. It smells so good. This very kind of subtle, like herb, gardeny smell. Maybe it's something in particular. Some kind of lettuce here, it looks like. So it's only about 3 in the afternoon, but I am ready to get out of the heat, get back to my room, relax, get to work on this video, and then tomorrow, flight at 10:20, direct flight from Riyadh to Doha, Qatar. So more coming from the Middle East. See ya. Oh, and so that is the road that we drove down in the Uber trying to get to the palace. But you have to enter from the back side over there and go through that ticket thing in order to come across this bridge to enter the palace. So that was part of the confusion.